Hello all, welcome to the channel. Give me a follow and subscribe and all that if you like. And today we are going to be doing chainmailing. Yay! So right now we're going to be working on a gorgeous pink and purple striped dragon. Oh, look at those colors, just yes. With black and steel rings. And I streamed the first half of our dragon on Twitch, and I'm still working on trying to get that to, go over to, sorry, I'm going to change screens for a moment here. There we go, now I can actually see the chat, yay! Yeah, I streamed the first half on Twitch. I'm trying to work on getting that over to YouTube. There's an unsyncing between the audio and the video, some issue with Twitch that I'm trying to get resolved. But anyway, for the head here, because we don't have 7/32-inch rings available in black and steel, they only have 1/4 inch and 3/16, which are thankfully the other sizes that I need for, the rest of the dragon. Unfortunately, however, I'm just going to see if we're still streaming here. Okay, yep. It's just YouTube is... Never mind. Checking settings. So anyway, as I was saying, what we're doing is clipping rings. And I'm going to go like this so that I can actually see what's happening to an extent. And what I'm doing right now is I really wish I had a second camera so that I could show you things more directly. But I'm clipping just a little bit out of the top of the ring there. And then we're going to be squeezing those together, and that will make approximately 7/32-inch 18-gauge rings. And I'm going to try to get away with doing that only on the edges of the dragon's head. Like if you see on Midnight here, I basically had to give her some extra teeth in order to, make up the fact that it's 1/4 inch rings in the middle and 1/4 inch rings and alien mail, like the weave that I used for the heads. Don't really play along the greatest. But if you see on Charlotte here, who thankfully is, oh, actually, Charlotte has the exact same issue because I made her out of titanium rings. Okay, well, I don't have any other dragons exactly that moment here. You'll have to take my word for it. Anywho's, back to clipping. So I've already done some of the rings here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And let's see, we need 14 on one side on the top half, and 14 on the bottom. So we need to clip us 28 rings. How many did I say I had here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And I may need to open up another bag of 1/4 inch rings, which I will do if I need. I actually had 2 black dragons ordered, so I will probably have to order more rings from the Ring Lord before I can make the second one. I don't think that I'll have enough 1/4 inch rings to make another full dragon. We'll see, we'll see. I have a lot of silver rings, but, someone ordered 2 black dragons, so, well, there you go. Now I have all these little, ring clippings here that I'm going to have to do something with. Oh, and the sun just keeps on coming in and out here. What are we up to here? 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so we need another set of 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all kind of hooked together here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, we'll put that one away. Oh, and also give me one moment here. I'm going to make a bit of an echo because I just want to test to see if the audio is working. Yes, it is. Wonderful. You get to hear the clicky sound of a ring being snipped a little bit. Kind of wish I had something to do with all these little tiny snipped pieces of ring here. Like about 2 millimeters of wire. Little tiny 2 millimeter sections of wire. Now, what can mean? Basically nothing. I suppose if I had a tumbler, it could be used as a tumbling media inside of there. The fact that they're black and steel probably wouldn't help much, but you get the idea. Now we just need to bend these rings to, fill in that gap that we just snipped out of them. So yeah, what we're doing is we're starting with this ring over here. You can see the gap at the top there. And then we just kind of squeeze or grab the edges, just kind of pull all the sides together and make it about as round as we possibly can, really. Like, it's not going to be perfect round because it wasn't, coiled around a rod or anything, made at 2 or 7/16 or 7/32" size. But this will be a pretty good approximation. So then we get that. Yeah, you can see that it's closed there, generally roundish. So that's what we're looking for. And yeah, some of the rings are going to be ever so slightly oval in some manner or another, and that's just the nature of how this is working here. This is the very first dragon that I'm trying this with, actually. Trying to just create 7/32" black and steel rings. I should send an email to the ring lord and see if they will, do custom work of any sort. Just like, okay, if I order 10 pounds of these things, can I get just like one batch of 7/32" black and stainless? And they might do that for like a bulk order. It's worth a shot. Make enough dragons. I think this one that I'm working on right now is going to be number... Just know that some plastic was in the corner of the screen there. I had to go and dig out my extra rings just to make sure that I even had more 1/4" rings. Otherwise, I suppose I could continue weaving. Like, if I had to estimate, working on the head of the dragon alone takes around an hour and change. Just because there's all kinds of extra stuff done to it, like giving it a chin and everything. Ooh, that one turned out really nice. I don't know how well you can see that on camera there, but yeah, I got a real nice closure on that one. The closure is going to be a little bit kind of random from one ring to the next because, I'm clipping them off and they're not done by machine at an exact angle and all that same such. Kind of debating what would work better, black and stainless steel rings or titanium. Because when you clip titanium, it tends to snap off a little bit sharper because it's like more brittle than stainless steel. So yeah, might vaguely consider doing like a comparison test at some point or another in the future, if I, care enough, which is pretty debatable because it's pretty rare that I use titanium rings. I do love working with titanium, but more expensive and all. I did make my personal dragon Charlotte out of full titanium, so that was just kind of an extra treat to myself. My very first personal dragon, Octavia, she was actually a stainless steel dragon. She had titanium claws, to be fair, but in kind of an opposite seas world here, Charlotte is full titanium, but with stainless steel claws. And kind of just a general theory here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stream for half an hour to make it like a, manageably length watchable video. And normally I stream for a lot longer, but I'm going to try something here and stream for half an hour, go and grab me some lunch, and then come back and stream for another half hour. And I wish I could stream all day, to be honest, but I do have work later this afternoon, so I am going to need to, go do that. Right now I'm working at a convenience store, 7-Eleven, if you have any in your area. And it's not too bad, it's work. Although I'm going to be attending college in April to become a healthcare aide. So once I graduate from there, then that'll be far, far better, well, pay, work, everything. Oh, goodness. Thankfully, these Zero pliers have kind of a hooked tip at the end there, so rings don't go flying quite so often. If I just grip the plier or the ring with that, it's more or less no matter what happens with this pair of pliers, which are, well, technically they did have teeth at one point or another in the future, but they've been used so much that they've literally been worn toothless and flat and smooth. Yet for whatever reason, they still grip the pliers really well, so I'm not sure what material they are, but I really like this pair of pliers. Probably my favorite pair. Even including the Zeros, I just really like them. And actually, not too long ago, I had used these pliers so often, I've used them for the several shirts that I've made and everything, that I literally wore a groove into the tip of the rings. And over the years, that groove inside of the tip of the pliers grew so deep that it was getting weak on the end, and the very tip of it was kind of peeling back and it couldn't grip the ring so well anymore. So just recently I snapped those two little pieces off right where the groove was, filed it down around again, so these are about 3 millimeters shorter now. And yeah, just over the years we're going to get another groove forming in there eventually. Okay, so we have 14 rings closed right now. Now we're going to close some more, and now there are 14 here. And then the middle rings of the alien male weave for the head. Those I'm going to leave as quarter-inch rings, or try to leave them as quarter-inch rings, and see how well that works. That may or may not work. Although I'm not really liking the idea of clipping off another 32 rings. No, wait, 8, 16. Clipping off another 16 rings of that little 2 millimeter gap there. So we'll see how it goes. Bit of an experimentation phase with this dragon right now. I really wish there was a way that I could stream to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Or YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook all at the same time. Like, come on, why isn't that an option? I'm putting out video, why can't I just put it out to, like, 3 places? I'm sure there's many, many technological reasons why I can't, but still. Oh, it'd be nice if I had a better workbench type of area to work with here. I live kind of a minimal lifestyle, so this is actually my bedroll here that I'm kind of leaning against. And it's not exactly the best for back posture or anything, unfortunately. But you know, you work with what you've got type of thing. Sorry, I'm kind of looking away from the camera. I've got the screen there and the camera there. And it's a different setup than I usually have happening right now. Again, kind of experimenting with different things. I can't wait until I can get Twitch streaming properly, or at least, able to download properly so I can put it on YouTube. With live streaming directly to YouTube, I'm not able to put in like the little cute intro and outro to the video. Like, I suppose I could if I downloaded it off of YouTube, did that, and then re-uploaded it to YouTube. I may do that, actually. But then it's not listed as a live stream, so there's that kind of issue. Yeah, I'll decide later. Because I have like this cute little intro, like, audio thing. There's a picture of a dragon behind it. And then for the outro, it's... And yeah, just fun little thing. It gives kind of an intro and an exit to the video, instead of it just like, cutting to me being on and singing. Which is at least kind of how I start the video. It's just like, alright, I can't tell exactly when it's going to start streaming. It's just like, alright, waiting. Okay, now it's on. So it's like, alright, well, let's just sing, and then it just kind of picks up wherever I am in the song. Okay, so we finally closed all of those rings that we just clipped a little bit out of here. So let's take all those little tiny end pieces and just kind of put it in a little scrap bin-ish area here. Bin-ish area. There's a little tiny kind of like pocket in my chainmail kit where I just kind of put the scrap pieces. Now, we're going to take some just 1/4-inch rings and leave them as 1/4-inch rings for now. And I'm definitely going to need to open up a new bag of rings. Yay! Which I'm hoping will magically make one more dragon fully after this. Thankfully, only the head is, like on this one left here, is 1/4-inch, and the legs are all 3/16. Because if I had to do the legs in 1/4-inch as well, I honestly don't think that I would have enough rings at all. But, oh, you go there. Ring kind of fell into the wrong slot. And we do not want that, because that is a nuisance. Oh, the ring goes into the wrong slot in your chainmail kit, and then it's like, oh heavens, where in the world is... Yeah, you're going to pull that one out later when you're in the middle of working, and then it's like, you're the wrong size, why? It's a frustration, trust me. Sorry, give me 2 moments. I'm just kind of stirring the rings that I just poured in my kit down a little bit so that I have room to fit the excess from here. So, now 1/4-inch rings. We're going to try and open you up, and I may end up undoing this whole section here. We'll see how that goes. If I need to end up clipping these down as well. Just picturing it already, because alien mail is an AR-specific weave. I can picture it already that it's going to just cause problems if I don't clip these down. So I think I'm still going to do exactly that. So this is going to be a very clippity type of episode. Okay, so at this point, thankfully we should only have 16 rings to clip down. For this dragon, the next dragon, we're going to be, they're supposed to be more or less identical except for the colors on the back. So next dragon is also going to have a whole lot of clipped down rings. So yeah, this is a bit of an experiment with these two to see how well this works. And if it ends up being kind of, come see, come sa, And then I'll go back to my old method of much like Midnight or William here, of just adding extra rings onto the side of the head such that, you know, it has extra teeth, but it holds the weave in place properly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like 1,000 extra bonus points if you know where that tune comes from. I'll give you a hint. The lyrics to that one are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's been stuck in my head for a little while here and there. Oh, well, speaking of things stuck in my head, I'll sing you one of my favorite songs that's been just... Oh, I love this one. It's a video game theme from Metroid. That's the Lower Norfair theme from the video game Metroid. Oh, I love that theme. Okay, so how many rings are we at here? We've got to clip them all down here, or at least enough for the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Wonderful! Exactly what we need. Because there's 8 rings that go down the center of the dragon's head, and 7 that go along the sides. So all of those extra rings can go there, and in theory, this should be the correct number. And I guess we'll find that out sometime in the relatively near future. Of course, now we have to play the game of curl all of these clipped rings into the right shape again. Oh. Well, I've been streaming almost half an hour already here, and we're still just clipping and shaping rings. I've really got to email the ring lord and see if they'll create black and 732-inch rings for me. Okay, now this batch of rings needs to be open. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop-a-doop-doo. Noop-a-doop-a-doop-doop-a-doop-doo. Noop-a-doop-a-doop-doop-a-doop-doo. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop-a-doop-doo. 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 Do-do-doop-doop-doop-doo. Doop-doop-doop-doo-doop-doop-doo. Doop-doop-doo-doop-doop. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop-doop. Do-do, do-do-boop-doo. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop-doo. Do-do, do-do-doop-doo. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-doop-doo. If you hear me kind of like pause every now and then for a moment, that could be me just double checking with my deities, like my goddesses and gods, to see what their opinion is as to, whether I should continue on one thing or another here. As just checking with them to see if, should we keep on streaming for more than half an hour, or should I do half an hour and then take a break? Because again, I'm trying to make like slightly more manageably watchable videos, because an hour, that's almost a movie length at that point there. And half-hour videos, that's like nice small little chunks. And generally just with, YouTube and everything, people generally like, short videos that you can just kind of consume on small little increments when you're sitting on the bus or whatever. Even half an hour is pushing it, to be honest. So I think what we're going to do is end up going slightly over half an hour so that I can finish reshaping just this last batch of rings here. Then, like I said, I'll go and grab me some dinner, some din-din, okay, some lunch. And then I'll come back and we'll see if we can assemble us a dragon head. Or at least part of a dragon head, get somewhere. Well, I have done a whole lot of ring clipping today, so that's definitely getting somewhere in some manner. I gotta say, I clip these rings off at a fairly good angle here. The closures are, for the most part, like really, really tight, and not like, angled like that or something like that, but they're actually like, flush with each other. So that's good. I did try to clip them off, as straight as I could, just from how I was holding the ring. Kind of fun story about this pair of wire cutters. I actually wouldn't have been able to do this operation whatsoever without them. These girls here. I actually found these just sitting on, Nipex. Nipex, Nopex. By the way, these are Zeron, sorry, Nopex is a different type of player. Anyways, so it was winter, like this last winter, and I was just kind of wandering through whatever area of the city, on my way to a store. And I happened to notice this pair of pliers like half buried in the snow on the sidewalk, just in the middle of nowhere. So I pick them up, and they're kind of rusty-ish looking, and it's like, okay, well, you've been dumped on the sidewalk for whatever reason. What are the odds that you're actually a good tool and not just some, someone discarded you except they didn't want to look for a trash can because they're lazy type of thing. But I thought, I work with wire a fair amount, and it's a random stray tool that I found on the street. Let's pick her up and see what she's like. So I take it home and, oh heavens, this thing cuts a wire like a dream. Like, seriously, just wow. Cutting, say, like a 12-gauge wire like this, just flush. Normally I had to, file the edge of the 12-gauge wire to get it to, sit flush with each other. You barely have to do that at all when it's clipped with these. It's just wow, this is a really good tool. So some poor, construction worker or contractor or something is probably somewhat distraught because they lost their cutters here, but I am so glad that I stumbled across them out of the blue because wow, they are just amazing. I am not going to stop prattling on about them. I love them. With all of these rings, if I tried to clip them with my old pair of cutters, like a pair of pinch nippers like this, it would give them a really, really bad kind of pinch cut, and I'd literally have to file away every single ring, which would easily take me 3 times as long. So at that point, I'd just continue working with 1/4-inch rings, because at that point it's like, okay, I'm not spending 4 hours on just the head of the dragon alone here. because that's just ludicrous. But these, okay, so it's approximately an extra, looks like it's going to be around 40 minutes to prep enough rings to actually make a dragon head out of 732-inch rings clipped down from quarter. Quarter-inch ring, these aren't quite quarter-inch rings. What we've done is made 732-inch rings, but not quite quarter-inch rings. Where was I going with that? Right, so it seems like it adds about half an hour to dragon making time. Which isn't too bad, not exactly great either, but not too bad. Still have to email the ring lord and see if I can get them to do a custom order of blackened 732-inch rings. I tried looking at a few different weaves as well just to see if there was something that worked better than alien mail. But alien mail just works so good for a dragon head, it just looks so right. And then getting the mouth ring inside of there, like the big ring on the end of the mouth, which you weave the tail through in order to, you know, turn it into a bracelet. Yeah, that really works well with alien mail, and it doesn't look like it'd work nearly as well with any other weave. Mainly because this is two sets of European 4-in-1 weave kind of woven together along the edges. So yeah, you can kind of sandwich that large ring inside of there, and just kind of work the alien mail around it to make it fit. Okay, last one to resize, then there's another one that I need to open up over here. You I just kind of left closed. Let's open you. Ooh, that one has a really nice closure. Not sure how well you'll see that on the camera. Hopefully it'll focus well. But yeah, you can see that it has a really, really nice closure there, which we will now open. But we're going to be closing it again in a bit. So now we have all of the rings needed for the head. And like I said, I'm going to go take me a lunch break, and then I'll be back in a little bit to finish the dragon. Later, all. Kodo, life be with you.